Rink Rat is a kid that loves hockey, that's around the rink all the time. Hanging out at the rink, eating lunch at the rink, getting on the ice as much as possible. My name is Mark Cole. I'm head of player development for the PAL Junior Islanders, and independently I run my own skates, camps, clinics, and everything else. You know, like most kids, grew up, I guess, through parents watching the New York Islanders. Started actually playing roller hockey. I think that's how a lot of Long Island kids get started, right? Because ice is so expensive, and started off playing roller hockey. That parlayed into playing travel. I went over to the Long Island Royals. At the time, this was before the Royals, it was the Island Blades. So played mites and squirts there, then played, that's when the Royals came in, played my Bantam year with the Long Island Royals. Then Ronnie Kinnear over at PAL poached me after my Bantam major year, went over and played 2 years of junior for PAL. And then I went out west and played 3 years of junior A. So that's kind of like, you know, my path of youth hockey on Long Island, parlayed into playing in the Midwest. You know, I had a Division I commitment. I went there, unfortunately was eligible through the clearinghouse. Figured things out really quick about how the process worked. I transferred from Michigan Tech to Plattsburgh halfway through the year in 2001. We actually wound up winning a national championship that year, so it worked out well. I came back for my sophomore year, pretty good team. At the end of that season, I figured out that it was time for me to move on from college, had some things going on, and got invited to Edmonton Oilers rookie camp. Went there, had a couple good fights, did what I had to do. They obviously weren't going to invite me to their main camp, so they said, you know, we're going to start you off in Milwaukee for the Milwaukee Admirals in the American League. Went to their camp, didn't make the team. They sent me to Fort Wayne in the United League, and that's how my pro career kind of got started. Well, I wound up playing 6 years in the US in the minors, went over to Europe for a year, and at that time I was burnt out. I did 6 years trying to climb the ladder, you know what I mean? And you're doing it now, Fortune, and you start to see, like, you know, different factors parlay the fact that you're not getting to the level you want. And that's where I was after year 5, and I was like, you know what? The writing was on the wall. I could stay stagnant and do this for another couple years, but the body started getting beat up. My friends started getting real jobs and making real money, and I was like, fuck, it's time to, you know, make a move. I had an opportunity to go over to the Netherlands with a buddy of mine, so I went over there to start the season, and then it kind of wasn't what was promised to us, so I was like, you know what, writing's on the wall, I had a good run, it's time for me to jump into the real world. And that's what I did. And the real world for me was a good friend of mine ran a winter club right in Locust Valley called Beaver Dam Winter Sports Club, and they were looking for a hockey pro. So what a golf pro is at a golf course, they were looking for that at their winter club, and that was me. So I came in, and that's kind of how I started coaching. I had no intentions of ever coaching after I was done playing, but that's just kind of how it worked out. And I was there for a couple years. The goal was to go over there, coach, make some money, network, take a job in the real world, which I thought would have been the move, and, you know, move on to the next phase of my life. I got a job in the city, suit and tie, you know, corporate job if you want to call it. I fucking hated it, right? The lifestyle sucked, getting on a train at 7 a.m., getting home at 8 p.m., just putting in the hours, the rat race, the New York City grind, if you will. I did it for a year. And it's funny, after like week 1 or even month 1, I told my girlfriend at the time, I said, I'm gonna give this 1 year. If this doesn't get better and I can't like formulate to this lifestyle, I'm out. She's like, what are you gonna do? I said, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But if I can't live this life that normal people are living, right, then I gotta figure something out. So I literally did it for 1 year. I started in like, I think it was September of, I don't know what it was, 2010 or 2011. Did it for 1 year. Right after Labor Day, the following year, I walked in my boss's office, who was a very good friend of mine, great guy, dear friend, and I just said, listen, I can't do it. I gave it a year. I tried everything I can to live this life of, you know, 9 to 5, if you will, and I can't do it. So at the time, I had some hockey things going on, but I jumped back into the hockey world, and then I really revved it up, started doing some lessons, some clinics, some camps, and kind of took it to the next level. So that's kind of how my path into coaching started. It wasn't planned, it's how it kind of came about. So basically what we do in the summer, and fortunately you're a big part of it, right? What we do is I have the college, pro, and junior guys during the day, and then I have the high-end midget and prep kids at night. And it started with a concept that I actually figured out when I was playing. Like when we were kids, there's a lot of kids playing, but there's not a lot of high-end players. So basically what we did in my age group is we skated at the rinks in Hauppauge with a guy by the name of Alexei, and he put it together with all the high-end players, and we all skated and trained together. And the saying is, iron sharpens iron, so you get all the best players together, you train together, when the season starts, you're off and running. So with the pro, college, and junior skate, I have relationships with all you guys, you know what I mean? Like I'm you guys just 15 or 20 years older. I did what you guys are doing, and I saw that there was a need for you guys. And I think Joey Duzak actually came to me and said, we need to put together a legit pro skate. I said, well, dude, we know all the players, let's just get it together. I think we started about 4 or 5 years ago, and it's kind of, if you will, like a little underground fight club, because I don't promote anything, right? I'm not on Instagram making these videos like other guys. I'm not on Facebook making these videos. It's basically word of mouth, who's who, invite only, and we handpick who comes to our skates. So obviously we start off with the high-end guys, NHL, American League, East Coast guys, and then we go from there. So ideally we have, even like the skate we had today, you have about 7 or 8 pro guys, you have about 7 or 8 Division I college guys, and then you have what I like to call the young assassins, where the kids that are high-end younger guys that look up to the guys like you and you and Duzak and everybody else, right? So that's kind of our day skate is pro guys, college guys, and junior guys, invite only, no riffraff. And then at night, it's the midget guys, the younger guys. So same concept, just a younger age group. Well, I mean, for me, it's more of a give back. For me, it's more of a give back to the guys that are trying to strive to get to the levels that they're trying to get to, right? Like yourself, we have a bunch of guys that played pro last year that are trying to get to the next level. If you're playing in the East Coast League, you want to get to the American League. If you're in the American League, you want to get to the NHL. If you're doing well in the US, you maybe want to make some money, you go to Europe, right? So for me, it's just, yes, it's a give back. It's an enjoyment for me because I get to watch you guys grow and do well. And when kids start getting drafted and kids start signing Division I commitments and kids start signing, you know, big deals, for me, that's everything, right? Like, I had some people that were good in my career that were good to me, so I feel like I can give that back to you guys. So to get into our skates, I mean, it's not for everyone. If you're not a real player, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb and you're gonna get weeded out real quick. And it's basically geared towards the guy that wants to get to the next level. The junior kids want to get to college. The college kids want to get to pro. The pro guys want to get to the NHL. So again, the concept is iron sharpens iron. Get all the best guys together, let them battle it out. When the season starts, off and running. At that level, it's all about, I would say it's about passion. It's about like, if you love this sport, then you're going to dive in and give it, you know, all you got. The unfortunate thing with hockey on Long Island, and you guys would all attest to it, it's very financially, what's the word I'm looking for? It's expensive, right? So what I would say to that 10-year-old is get on the ice as much as you can, but also train off ice. There's a lot of things you could do at home. Everyone has a basement or a bedroom or a garage or a backyard or a street or whatever. There's a lot of other things you can do to work on your game, work on your hands. As far as working out at that age, probably shouldn't do it, right? But you could still do like some squats and stuff with no weights. But I just think at that age, that's when the passion comes in. Get on the ice as much as possible. Watch it on TV. Watch a good local older team. Learn, right? Because that's how you learn at the sport. You watch it, and then you just, you know, you take it to the next level and see where you go.